Good day, everybody. I'm here. Hello. I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you're staying warm wherever you are, if it's cold, or cool if it's warm. It's actually, what is it today? It warmed up here today. It's 28 degrees out right now. It was below zero the other morning, like 10 below at one point. But as I said, it warmed up 28 degrees. So today we are going to, well, I'm going to be painting or trying to paint season 16, episode 10 from The Joy of Painting. It's called That Time of Year. It was a painting that Bob's son actually painted. So why don't we just get right into it? So we have a canvas is 16 by 20. I've already have it coated with a coat of the liquid white. Do the test. I have fingerprints. I can see my fingerprints. So it's ready to go. Let me get rid of my fingerprints. Okay. So just a little background so you know how I do this. I usually pick out what I'm going to paint. I'll go through. There's well over, I don't know, I don't even know how many paintings. There's 31 seasons and 13 episodes in each season, plus a bunch of special hour-long specials. But I'll go through and pick out a painting, and then I'll watch the episode a couple of times to see what they're doing, whoever's painting it. And then I'll watch it once, and I actually write down the steps that you take. And then that's what I use to follow. That's what I follow along. I use that as my guide to what I'm going to paint. So let's get started with this one. So today I have already out on the palette a little bit of Indian yellow, alizarin crimson, and phthalo blue. We're going to use that to make the sky. So I'm going to use a 1-inch brush. I'm going to go into a little bit of the Indian yellow. I'm going to tap that into the brush really well, making sure it's spread evenly through the brush. And then we're going to go up and we're going to start in the center using little X pattern. I've got a hair already. And just flick it off and brush it on a towel. All right. So now we want this kind of bright right here in the center. And then we want it to kind of disappear off into the sky. That looks pretty good. It's kind of bright. Hang on, let me see if I can fix that. No, I ain't fixing it. I think it's just because it's yellow. It doesn't show that well. Let's see what happens. Because I see the yellow up here a lot more than I see it on. I'm watching the screen over there. But, all right, let's do a little more. Let's add some, so it'll be down in the water. I've got a lot of hairs coming out of these brushes today. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go and take a little bit of the crimson. Not cleaning the brush, using the same brush. Just load it with some crimson, tap it in, so it's spread evenly. And then I'm going to use it as a separator between the yellow and the blue, because if you mix blue and yellow, you'll end up with a green sky, and we don't want that. So let's start to add a little crimson, and it should turn into a pinkish color, especially once you blend it in. And we're just going to add it kind of around the yellow. That's good. Right now I'm going to dry clean the brush just a little, and then I'm going to go into the phthalo blue. Again, tapping the brush to evenly distribute the paint between the bristles. And I'm going to come up and then start in the corner. Just work down to the crimson. We always start in the corner so the corners are darker. It leads the eye to the center, they say. Okay. So now, let's take a clean, dry brush. I'm going to blend this, starting in the yellow, working into the crimson, then into the blue. You want to blend it so you can't tell where one starts and the other one stops. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of hairs today. Yeah. These hairs. Let's go into the blue now. Some of this heavy paint so it don't go into the yellow. Blend it all together. Okay, let's see. That's pretty good. All right, so now take that same brush that I used to put the sky in, and I'm going to just dry clean it again a little bit. I'm going to load one side with crimson, and the other side with phthalo blue. Crimson, phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. Now, I'm going to put phthalo blue on this side, holding the brush that has the phthalo blue on it on this side. Add some water. And it's okay if it turns green here because water does turn green. And yes, I learned all this from the episode watching. And I'm going to come in from this side, and I don't see any crimson. Let's put some more. There's some crimson. I hear the phone ringing upstairs. I might have to step away for a second. My son's expecting a package, and I got to bring it in from outside. Right in the middle of the yellow, right? Let's fix that. Okay. All right, I gotta go grab a package. I'll be right. Okay, sorry about that. Package it in. So now where was I? I got to blend in the water a bit. I'm just using the brush that I used to blend the sky. Blend this water in. Okay. Just blend it all through. Look at that. That little smudge I made kind of disappeared. All right. So, there's a blending brush. Next, this was the brush I used. All right. We're going to make some clouds. So, let me clean up this palette a little bit. I only put out a little because I knew it's all I needed for the sky. Let's see, where's a paper towel? All right. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Hope your day's doing good. I was watching you guys earlier doing the trial. Clean that up. Okay. Let's see. What is next? Clouds. We need to some titanium white. Let's see. Let's put that over here. And then a little bit of just a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just a dot. So take a fan brush. Here's my fan brush. Let's use this one. I'm going to take a tiny bit. It's a little. I'm going to take a tiny bit of liquid white too, just to thin this down, just a drop. You only need a tiny bit. make it thin. And I'm going to grab just a dot of this crimson. Okay. Just a little more. Now, load up the fan brush. And now I'm going to add. Oh, hey Jess, how are you? Let's add a cloud. So I'm going to hold the brush like so in little circular motion. And we'll add the top of the cloud. We don't care about the bottom. We only care about the top. I want that to look kind of fluffy. Just fill this in just a bit. So now, I'm taking a clean, dry 1-inch brush, and I'm going to just swirl, light swirl. I'm going to blend out the bottom of the cloud. And there's a big hair. Here we go. Yeah, it's a little warmer here today. It's 29. Oh, actually, it just went down to 28. But it was cold the other night. Okay, we're going to fluff the top. Just lightly touch it and kind of bring it up in a circular motion. Off excess and then lightly across. Here's our first little row of clouds. So now, let's make another row right in front of that. Just a little more liquid white. Okay. So now we'll put one right below it. Some down the bottom. Like that. So now if you look, there's a little bit, you can kind of see it, of separation between the two. So now we'll take the dry brush and blend out the bottom. And fluff up the top. And there we go, cloud number 2. Try to clean that a little bit before I use it again. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little more crimson to the white. Make it a little darker, more of a pinkish tinge. All right, so now let's add one over here. Comes up like so. And fluffs over that way. Just give it a little body under here to be able to feather it out. Again, blend up the bottom. I'm just using the very corner of the brush and making little circles with it and moving it along. And then we're going to fluff. Another hair. Don't play with the clouds too much. Better off just to leave them alone. Okay, so we got our clouds. So now we need to make a color on the brush, which is not normally what I'm used to doing. So we're going to give it a try. We need to use some crimson, phthalo blue, and midnight black, and a little bit of the white to get a very light lavender color. So, okay, so let's put out some phthalo blue. Some midnight black. Now, we're going to use most of these colors throughout the rest of the painting. So I'll put a good amount of midnight black and a good amount of crimson. Okay, and then I need some clean white. Put that over here. Okay, so now I'm going to take the dirty brush that I used to create the sky and the water with. And I'm going to go into crimson. Pull some of that out. I'm going to take a little bit of the blue and some of the black. The crimson, blue, and black. And I'm going to go into the white. Hopefully we get a nice lavender. There we are. Here it comes. Okay, so I have a nice lavender color now. Now we're going to add some foothills. And hopefully this sticks. We might have to add some thinner to it to get it to stick. And actually, let's load it up so it's on both sides really good. Because I'm going to use it kind of laying flat sideways. I'm not going to hold it up straight. So I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to say I have a foothill. It starts like so. And there's another one. Goes like that. Another one off of that. Okay. It's a little more paint on there. And just color this in a little bit more. Okay. So now I'm going to take a clean, dry brush. And we're going to smash the bottom. But we're going to... Actually, I'm going to smash the bottom first, once. Right along the edge. Just to even my edge off a little. Then I'm going to put a little bit of this crimson that's over here. And I'm going to a little bit of crimson in. good smashing. And then I'm doing a little different than they did it. They did this part before they did the blending. I'm going to do it now, which is pull up. So it looks like there's little trees standing both along the top, and then in the paint, it looks like there's little, you can't see it probably, but it looks like there's little trees standing up in the paint. And we're going to do something else too here. All right, and I'm going to go right along the very top and just barely pull up. Make it look like there's tiny little trees. The tops of the trees are there. I'm going to put a little more, just a little more detail on these in a second. There we go. So now we're going to go back, load the brush with some of that lavender. I'm going to redefine, hopefully redefine the tops of these hills. I think we need to darken it just a hair. A little bit of black. Come on. I'm going to darken it again in a minute. Fix that. There we go. Get rid of that edge. Let me take my blender brush. What do I do with that? Here it is. Get the excess off of it. And let's get that a little bit. Pull these up. Just seems so bright. I'm looking on the screen and I can see the top line here. But looking at it from here, I don't see it as much. That's going to bug me. Oh well. Let's keep moving. Once I put the other one in, you might not see it as much. Okay, so now we need to darken this. So we're going to add some more crimson and black and skip the blue, I believe. Brush mix, boo, boo, boo. A little more black and crimson to darken. So, to the black and crimson. White. Now, let's start over here and comes our next foothill. I don't know if it's dark enough. Let's see. Darken it a little bit more. Let's see, this is a little dark. Yep, it's a little darker. Put another row. Foothills right in here. Let's bring this one up a little more. Fill this in a little bit. Some color. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so again, take a brush and on the bottom. All right, I need to add a little more crimson, just like in the back. Don't need much crimson. Crimson's very strong, I think. Just put a little bit there. And give it some crimson. Now this one I'm not going to do like the highlights or the separations, because they didn't do that. Okay. Pull these up a little more. Gotta make sure these are going straight up too, or it'll look like they're in a windstorm. There we go. And pull some up along the side. There we go. Okay. So, what is next? We're going to brush make the same thing, only I'm going to use sap green this time with it. So, let me move this blue over there. And then clean up this side. Towel. Clean that up. Put some green here. So this is going to be what we use, or I use, for the base color for the rest of the under lighting, if you want to call it. So I'm going to use that same dirty brush, and I'm going to load it up with some crimson and black. And just a little bit of green. It's very dark. Okay, so we're going to add a tree line here right along the foothills. And I'm just touching the canvas and barely pushing up. So I'm pulling the brush in one direction. And what it does is it creates a little area where it's kind of rolled over, and you hold that up, and that's the top of your bushes or trees. If you look, I don't think you can see it on the palette. There's actually a bunch of raised paint. What you see there is the exact opposite is on the brush. So, and then by touching and pushing, you'll be transferring that onto the canvas. Actually, so let's go down this end. Put a bush, and then let's have a good sized tree over there. And just go along here and make it kind of random. Let's just fill it in a little bit along the bottom, make it a little thicker. We'll come back and highlight this afterwards. Okay. Now, actually, take your brush that you used to mist the bottom. Do the same here. The mist along the bottom, but we're going to cover all that up anyways. So now, I'm going to take a knife, just going to scrape in or scratch in the indication, some sticks and twigs and trunks. And some of this might show through after we put the highlights on. And I'm just dragging straight down. Oh. There we go. Bunch of sticks, twigs, and trunks. All right. So now we're going to need, let's clean this up a little bit. I need to use this end. Let me clean my hand brush. I don't think I need that anymore. But cloud color. Give that a quick cleaning. Dry it off. Let's clean this end a little bit. Scrape that up. Need a paper towel to wipe that. This is what I love about the wax paper too, is scrape off a little bit of the paint that's there, wipe it with a paper towel, and look at that. It's like brand new. You can use it. You can use wax paper for 2 or 3 paintings sometimes if you keep up with it. All right, so let's put out some cad yellow. And what else are we going to use? Cad yellow, a little bit of that blue that's up over there. So we can make a green. Maybe a little bit of red. So let's put some red out. Just a dab. Okay, so I'm going to start with a clean brush. And I'm going to go into a drop of thinner. And I mean a drop. So I'm going to actually dip it, shake it off, and then dab it on a paper towel. And hopefully I don't have too much on here. Let's pull a little out and see how it's doing. No, actually, that's not bad. So now I'm going to just take a speck of this blue. And look at that. It's green. Just a little more, a little darker. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm pulling the brush in one direction. And then I'm getting that little bent over side. And I'm going to come up here and add some highlights. Again, a little more. You want to try to leave some of the dark spots, the shadows. Probably could have got away with using a filbert brush. Comes down like that. I'm just putting in the greens right now. I'm going to come back and add a couple of different colors. Some green there. And let's make this tree green. Okay, let's go into just a hair of red. See if that looks. Give it a little more. I'm always afraid of the red. Yeah. Have to be right on that one. How about a couple that are a little yellow? Like that. Different colors in there. Because it's that time of year, right? Isn't that the name of this? Yeah. It's just starting to change. Okay. All right. So now let's make just a hair more thinner. Oh wait, not yet. All right. So there's our initial highlights. Those aren't bad. Now we're going to add a little land down below. So we're going to take some Van Dyke Brown. Just put some out right there. Oops, lost a brush. Okay. Let me take my knife, spread this out a little bit. A little roll on here. And I'm just going to drag this to the left. Some more. It doesn't matter if you pick up a little bit of the highlight color or the undercolor. It adds, gives it its natural highlight. Yeah. Just kind of drag it to the left. Go. I'm not doing this exactly the same as theirs. I changed it up a little bit. Made like my land area here is a little wider than theirs. Still got some there. Get off. Okay. Oh yeah, and remember, please hit like and subscribe. Help me with all those YouTubey things. Okay, a little more right there. Finish filling this in. So now, here we go. With some land. Turn off my knife a little. Now, we want to, where's the brush? I'm taking the brush that I used to put in the trees, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this under here to help with the reflections. Just pull this straight down, Grab a little bit of that brown too. Not gonna be enough. Put some more grass. Okay, now I'm gonna take a clean, dry. I'm actually gonna use a 2-inch brush this time. I'm gonna come pull it straight down. Okay, so I pulled it down with that side of the brush. I'm going to flip it over and use this side to lightly blur it. Here's the start of our reflections. So now I'm going to take the highlight colors. I need to put some more out. So yellow. I'm going to put a little bit of sap green out here. Just a drop thinner. Put some more of this yellow out. Add the blue and the green. There we go. So I'm going to actually load the sides up a little bit. I'm going to come here and kind of put some grass on some of this. Just to kind of sit that dirt down. Just put some grass on the edge. Get rid of that straight line. Blurs thing a little. Okay. Now, a little more yellow. Get the green back to where it was. Now, let's just take, oh, there's a hair sticking out. Get up. Okay. So now I'm just going to add some color down into these reflections. Doesn't really matter that the color doesn't match. Your eye won't notice the difference. You just want some color down in here. Then take a 2-inch brush and dry clean it first to get rid of that brown that I pulled down. Oh, it's dirty. You just flip this over. Okay. So again, just lightly pull down. Then use the other side to blur it. Clean that off. Now, take a little bit of liquid white. Put that out on the palette. Go through it. And add a water line. Make sure you wipe your knife off before you reload it, because it will pick up all the brown and contaminate the liquid white on the palette. I mean, on the palette. So, see if you can see. So, I'm gonna wipe the knife off. That's the brown that came off of the knife. Now, if I put that through the liquid white, you would have a nice brown streak through it. So I actually want this to come out a little. Okay. After this comes the bravery test. I'll put a couple of birch trees in. So I think I want this to come out a little. So that's actually a front a little bit more. There we go. And now it looks like the land comes along and juts out a little bit. Just by moving the water line down. There we go. There's our water line. Next, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to need some more Van Dyke Brown. A little more out. Take the knife. I think I'm going to use the big knife. Pull this out. Cut through. Roll of paint. And okay, here we go. Time for a tree. You're going to start right about here. Here's the start of them. Fresh roll on here. Sorry, I talk, but I'm holding my breath while I'm doing this. Just want to fill this in. Problem is it picks up the paint from below. It's already there. And go up about there. It's a little fat right here. Let's see if we can fix that. It's a little better. Okay. Let's give him a friend. Let's start at the top. Start down the bottom. He lives right next to him. Kind of curves that way. And then he comes back a little. Something like so. All right. So I can't get a brush thing of paint on here. Spread this out again. Finish off this side. Sorry if I'm blocking the view with my arm. Oh yeah. Almost. And I love making birch trees. Just wish they were a little easier. Okay, so now clean off that knife. And we're going to put out some titanium white. Put that out over here. I think I'm going to use the little knife for this. So I'm going to spread this out, and pull a little roll, and then I'm going to take it and kind of pull it in a circular or almost a U, but not barely, just so it, come on, grab it, there we go. So it gives the indication that it's rounded. Just give it a little pull. And look at that, birch bark. Looks just like it. And voila. Clean that off. A little more. Come in from this side. If you're real good, you can do it in one swipe. I'm not that good. Here's the first one. So now, let's give this guy some bark. See if you can get it right. You can do the whole trunk at once. Like that. Hey, maybe I'm finally getting the hang of it. I guess practice does make perfect. There we go. Here's the start of our birch trees. All right, so let's take a liner brush, load it with some paint thinner, thin down a little bit of this brown. Come on, get thin. All right, then that's good. Use it. Use it to kind of add onto the top. And a lot of this will be covered with leaves. Say it goes up a little more. All right. Let's say there's a branch that comes out there. Like that. Let's show little branches coming out. Do. Mm-hmm. Get branches up there. All right, let's give his friend some branches. Something like that. Something like. Oh, I lost my brush. Right. Clean it. Load it back up. A little more. Okay. Something like that. Like so. A couple more and then be done with branches. Still got to give them leaves. A little bit off the top. Like so. That looks good. All right. So now let's take this brush, let's load it back up with crimson, black, little green. Okay. And Put some bushes in down here. Let's have them go all the way over here. Okay. Fill this in a little more. There you go. All right, so now take one green. Wanna just add some areas where the leaves are. I don't want this to be a big full tree. So each branch will get a nice little bunch of leaves. Something like that. I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's go back into my highlight. Actually, again, I'm going to do something in a different order than he did. At the very end, he put a bunch of land down the bottom. I'm going to put that there now before I start highlighting. So take some Van Dyke Brown and I'm just going to lay in some dirt here. And just pull it to the left. There we go. Just pull it on there. My canvas rolls under a little bit because of the way the paper canvas is a little bigger than the actual canvas that it's on. So it rolls under a little bit. That's fine. So there we go. Some dirt down the bottom. Okay, so let's clean off that brown off my hand. I think I want to highlight that a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the brown and some white and get a marble thing going here. Oh, and I'm just barely gonna. This is another thing he didn't do. Just want to give some highlight to this dirt and rocks or whatever it is. That's good. Now, let's see. Take our highlight brush through this yellow, and we can start right here. bush that lives right there. And another one that down like so. Some green. Like that. Grab some of this red. It's here. Some grass right along the bottom. Like that. Okay. Now I'm actually gonna take a new brush. Yeah. I'm gonna take one more Indian yellow. Actually gonna use an oval brush. You can tell it's the oval brush. It's the only brush with a black handle. I'm gonna dip that into the liquid white and mix it with the Indian yellow. Some more. There. This one's gonna be. One gonna be yellow. There we go. I think that's it. I think we have a finished painting. Just need to sign it, number it. I think that one came out pretty good. Yeah, let's get where is my liner brush? Let's clean this. Dry it. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I think it came out pretty good. Actually, it came out good. I don't know if I can pick the first one up. As you know, I always paint it twice. This was the first one, which is a little bit different than when this one came out. So, which one do you think's better? My first try or my second try? If you're watching this afterwards, please let me know in the comments. I think myself, the second try came out better. So I got to figure out what my mistakes were on the first one. And like they say, the only way you get better is by practicing. Oh, also, for those of you, let's see. I think my next stream is I'm going to redo the last stream that I did where I did the underpainting. I did it again, and I only did where the sky is going to be. But putting the oh, thank you. Yeah, I think the second one, the both the reflections and the trees themselves came out a little better. But this, putting the acrylic on the canvas, which is this is a normal piece of canvas paper on the correct side that's already gessoed. Even the acrylic went on 100 times easier. So it was definitely an issue with the way that canvas is prepared that I tried last time. So I'm going to retry that painting, either the next one that I do or the one afterwards. I don't know. I want to do another black canvas too. So, but let me get this signed. All right. Cover my liquid white. Put a little bit of red out. I'm going to use linseed oil to sign it. Instead of turpentine, then I'm going to use linseed oil. It seems to go on better when I sign it. So put a little drop on, a good sized drop of linseed oil. Thin this down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right. So let's go. Let's go right up here. Yeah, it flows on much easier with the linseed oil than it does thinning it down with turpentine or paint thinner, odorless paint thinner. Don't ever use turpentine. 25. And this is painting number, I think it's 72. 71. This is 72. Done. All right. Cap on this linseed oil. Cap on my liquid white. And I think we're all done. Yeah, no, and it's fun to show you guys the process too, because it's forcing me to paint more. I was relaxing. I just didn't have it in me to paint anymore, and I figured this will push me, and it has. Um, as you've seen, I've come on a couple of times during the last week, and I plan on doing some more. Where I'm just going to jump on. If I'm decided to paint, I'm going to turn the camera on. So you never know. You might see me at 4 a.m. if I get up and I decide I'm going to paint. So, but there's another one in the books. I guess I will catch everybody on the next one. If you're watching this on a replay, please hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, do all those YouTubey things, help me with the algorithms. And like I said, I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a great day.